South America looks peaceful on the map. Sweeping coastlines, towering mountains, and the world's largest rainforest. But beneath it lies one of the most chaotic geological engines on Earth. A collapsing ocean plate, a rising mountain chain, exploding volcanoes, a continent being twisted, stretched, and crushed all at the same time. This is the real story of South America. A continent still being built and destroyed. At first glance, South America seems straightforward. A long western mountain chain, a massive interior basin, and a tapering cone down to Patagonia. But this simple shape hides immense instability. Its coastlines are jagged, its rivers shift course, its mountains grow every year, and earthquakes reshape entire cities in seconds. This is a continent still under construction, and everything begins with its violent tectonic foundation. While most continents sit on one plate, South America sits on a battlefield. Off the western coast, the Nazca Plate, an aging oceanic plate, is sinking beneath the South American plate. This single collision powers nearly every major feature on the continent. Imagine pushing a tablecloth into a wall. The fabric wrinkles, rises, and splits. That's South America. The wall is the continent, and the tablecloth is the Nazca Plate. This subduction zone creates the Andes Mountains. The Atacama Trench, one of the deepest offshore trenches on Earth. Mega earthquakes like the 1960 Valdivia quake, explosive volcanoes, uplift of entire regions in minutes. To understand South America, you have to understand the Nazca Plate, because it is literally disappearing beneath the continent. The Andes are the longest mountain range on Earth, stretching 7,000 kilometers from Colombia to Chile. But the real secret is this: they're still growing. Every year, the Nazca Plate pushes the Andes a few millimeters higher. Earthquakes shift slopes, volcanoes add new layers of rock, entire valleys rise or fall depending on tectonic activity. Some peaks are so young geologically that erosion hasn't had time to smooth them. But the Andes also create something unexpected: isolation. They act as a towering wall that blocks rainfall, blocks migration, and shapes cultures. And they do something even more dramatic. They control the rainforest. The Amazon rainforest seems like the opposite of tectonic chaos: lush, wet, and stable. But it only exists because of violent geological change. Millions of years ago, before the Andes rose, the Amazon basin drained west into the Pacific. As the mountains rose, they blocked the flow of rivers. Water pooled, lakes formed, then massive river systems reversed direction, flowing east instead of west. This reversal created the modern Amazon River, the largest river system on the planet. South America's greatest natural wonder exists because the continent was squeezed so hard that its rivers changed direction. That's tectonic power. But the Andes don't only create rainforests, they also create extreme deserts. The Atacama Desert in Chile is one of the driest places on Earth, with some areas receiving zero rainfall for decades. Why? 3 forces combine. The Andes block moisture from the east. The cold Humboldt Current chills the air along the coast. Ocean, mountain, and atmosphere merge into one of the planet's strangest environments. A desert so dry NASA tests Mars equipment there. South America is a continent of contrasts, all created by tectonics. While the West is crushed, the East is doing the opposite. It's pulling apart. Northern South America, especially the Amazon and Orinoco regions, is stretching and cracking. Old cratons, some of Earth's oldest rocks, act like anchors, resisting movement. This mismatch creates intraplate faults and microcracks that can trigger distant earthquakes. In Brazil, Venezuela, and Guyana, faults hundreds of millions of years old are still reactivating today. This is tectonic chaos on a continental scale. One side is being crushed, the other is fracturing. The middle is rising. Along the Andes runs a line of volcanoes known as the Andean volcanic belt. These volcanoes exist because melting oceanic crust rises as magma. Some of the most dangerous include Cotopaxi, capable of city-level destruction; Villarrica, one of the world's most active, Nevado del Ruiz, whose eruption melted snowcaps and caused a deadly mudflow; Ubinas, constantly releasing ash in Peru. Volcanoes add to the continent's complexity. They reshape valleys, they create new lakes, they send rivers in new directions, and they even build new mountains overnight. This is a continent where land doesn't stay the same for long. Patagonia looks like a quiet, icy wilderness, but it's actually a battlefield of glaciers, wind erosion, and shifting crust. Glaciers carve deep fjords. Winds sculpt plateaus. Ancient faults split the landscape. Andean uplift here is slower, but still constant. Patagonia is the continent's final frontier, shaped by ice as much as tectonics. South America's tectonic story isn't slowing down. In the next 1,000 years, the Andes will grow higher. Chile's coastline will shift inland. More mega-earthquakes will strike. Volcanoes will build new summits. The Amazon basin may drain differently again. And in the very distant future, millions of years ahead, South America may collide with Antarctica, forming a new supercontinent. This is not a stable landmass. It is a continent in motion. South America is more than rainforests, mountains, and deserts. It's a continent forged by fire, water, uplift, collapse, and the unstoppable force of plate tectonics. Its landscapes tell one of Earth's greatest geological stories, one still unfolding today. If you enjoyed this deep dive into South America's hidden geography, subscribe to ORBIX for more world-shaping forces, mapped and explained.